'cause I really love to.
Welcome back to another episode of the GC Informer. I am Snowy, otherwise known as Count Fracula, and today we're going to be talking about not much because it's another slow news day, but we'll get there. Also, Vox, you know you love me, really. You know what you did.
Count Fracula. For all your news needs, always count on the count.
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, the Battle Royale game that everybody is playing at the moment, is adding microtransactions. Yes, before I get shouted at, they are cosmetic only, but even so, as much as I find cosmetic only microtransactions tolerable, I'd still prefer that they didn't exist, to be honest. These cosmetic microtransactions are actually inspired by the film Battle Royale, of which the concept is clearly sort of inspired, like, obviously, because it's a Battle Royale. The problem is, these microtransactions cannot actually be replicated within the game itself through the normal mechanics. A crate gets dropped, and if you pick up the crate, you will have to spend your money to open that crate. This is the same system that Team Fortress 2 uses, and I find it just as egregious there as I do here. For a single crate unlock, it is $2.50, meaning that if you want to actually outfit yourself with stuff that you can get from crates, you're going to have to spend a minimum of $10 in microtransactions. This, of course, has provoked a lot of backlash from the fans, who are quite rightly not particularly happy about having to spend even more money on a game that they've spent, what is it, it's $25 if not more on already. While in an earlier interview, PlayerUnknown had suggested that the microtransactions wouldn't be implemented until after launch, he seems to have gone back on this, and in an interview with, I think it was Game Informer? No, Gamasutra, that one, said that the monetization, the microtransactions, were just a test, and just to sort of gauge what the sort of reception will be to them and to inform the final product. Regardless of this, I do think that the system could have been done better just by implementing a system where you can actually acquire these items in-game, even if it takes a little bit longer. And I'm still going to maintain microtransactions shouldn't be a thing in priced games. And to be honest, it doesn't matter whether they're cosmetic or not, it's just slightly less annoying when they are only cosmetic. Are you overly obsessed with Dark Souls? And do you want to own every single Dark Souls related thing? Well, have I got news for you. There is a super limited edition vinyl collection of the Dark Souls soundtrack that will soon be available. While there is no price that I can see, 2,000 copies will be available to be purchased through Bandai's online store later on this year. The soundtracks included will be all 3 of the Dark Souls games. No, Bloodborne is not included, it is specifically Dark Souls. And as much as I'm sort of on the fence about Dark Souls, this thing looks fucking gorgeous. Just gonna look at these things. Look at them. They're so pretty. As much as these are beautiful, I probably wouldn't buy them because I know full well I'd be wasting my money because it's not my thing. It's not for me. It's very lovely. It's not my thing. I'm sure it's one of your things, and now I'm probably going to influence a purchase at some point from somebody. The Nintendo Switch has moved a surprisingly large amount of units in its first 4 months of sale. Fucking hell, it's been out for 4 months. 4! Where did that time go? In that time, it has shipped 4.7 million units, which smashes out a lot of people's estimates, including Nintendo's themselves, who are now upping their estimate to 12 million sales in the first year. I myself might be one of them, to be honest. The Switch looks like something I would be very, very interested in buying. A lot of good games are either out or coming out for it. So, yeah. I really do understand, actually, why the Switch is getting so many sales, because it is just pumping out a lot of good games, and the hardware isn't quite as gimmicky as that of the Wii U, which we all know was a massive flop sales-wise. In fact, it was such a flop that at the end of its lifespan, the Wii U had only just sold slightly more units than the Dreamcast. You remember the Dreamcast? That thing killed Sega in the console market, and the Wii U only just beat it in sales. Regardless, this is very good news for Nintendo, which means they may stick around in the console space for now. Also, the 3DS is still selling well, apparently. Those figures came out. Why is that still selling so well? Actually, yeah, there are good games coming out for it, to be fair. That's probably why, actually. And finally, a rumour has been circulated that Grand Theft Auto 6 might be in development. Again, everything that I am about to say is speculation. Speculation, nothing official has been confirmed. And in fact, as you'll see later on, this is very, very stringent speculation. The rumour came about because apparently, according to a NeoGAF forum thread, the stuntman come actor Tim Neff has listed both Red Dead Redemption 2 and Grand Theft Auto 6 on his CV. Of course, there may well be every chance that it is a typo because he did work on Grand Theft Auto 5 in his CV. Not in his CV, he was like, oh, I'm just going to work on my CV. You carry on developing the game. No, he was in Grand Theft Auto 5 in some capacity, which is on his CV. Another sort of stick in the cog in the, you know what I mean, is that apparently his agent has said this is not true. Talent agent Brittany Love said that we asked him and no, he has no involvement in Grand Theft Auto 6. And apparently he thinks it's part of something made up online. So, yes, take all of this with a massive grain of salt. Of course, this could be a lovely double bluff because that's happened many times, not just within the gaming industry, and Grand Theft Auto 6 may well be just round the corner. I say just round the corner, probably about 6 years away, given how development works with these kinds of games. Again though, everything I've just said is speculation, and to be honest, I would not hold your hopes out for a Grand Theft Auto 6 announcement or reveal anytime soon. So that's it for this episode of the GC Informer. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a like, a subscribe, a share, whatever you fancy. Our social links are down in the description if you want to follow us in any capacity. If you liked me, I have a channel that'll be on an end card where I do Let's Plays. I'm hoping to actually get back on that at some point, but I've had a very hectic few weeks. And coming up later on, we have some Let's Plays and some more news tomorrow hosted by Max. Thank you again very much for watching the GC Informer. I hope you have been informed, and I will see you soon for more news.